Okay, this is exercise 2.3, complete the views. In this we're going to translate an isometric drawing to an orthogonal drawing. Okay, a few more of the lines have been taken away. We still have some helpful hint lines there. Okay, so first thing is very important is have your t-square, with your t-square flush against the side of your board. You need to set the drawing up so all your lines line up with the t-square. So that makes sure that every line that you draw will actually be parallel to the existing lines that are on there. So with that set up, I can tape that down. I've put my name on the drawing already, and I'm going to begin to take these dimensions and place them onto an orthogonal view. So here we've got a front view. This is our front view. We've got an end view looking to the right side, okay, and it's sitting to the right, and that's your end view. And then you've got a top view, so it's looking straight down like a bird's eye view from above. So A, B, and C. We'll start with the front view, and then we'll go to a top view, and then we can go to an end view, just in that order. Okay, we always start with the front view because that should give us the most information. So if you're choosing a front view, try and choose the angle of the object that will give you the most information. Okay, so the overall width of the object is 80, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'll measure and mark out 80 along that line. Okay, I'm going to draw that line in. I can see here it's going to be a solid final line, so I'm going to just draw over that existing line. So this is where it's really important if you've lined up your t-square properly with the existing dotted line that's on there. Okay, from that point, I'm going to box in the front view, just really light with construction lines. So I'm using my 45-degree set square to give me that angle, which is going to be important later, but also the verticals I'm going to draw with that. I don't use my ruler at all. If I used my ruler, the lines would not be vertical and horizontal, you'd be able to tell. Okay, so we've got that height there. We've got another height here which we might measure and mark out. The height being, I think that says 53. Okay, so let's measure and mark out 53. T-square out of the way. So 53. Making sure that's accurate. Mark that out. The light point. T-square together with my set square, going to make that line to that point along the dotted line. Okay, so there is the edge of my drawing. Okay. All things are sitting the way they should. It just should go straight over the top of the dotted line. There we go. Okay, that's a bit better. Right, so I've got the height and I've got those edges there on my front view. I'm going to bring that height across. Okay, so I could see I could probably firm this in. The problem with firming in straight away is if I make a mistake, it's going to be very hard for me to go back. You're going to see everything, even if I try and rub it out. Okay, so there's my front view. So you can see there, it's really just a very plain front view. The important thing that we have not yet put in is the hidden detail line, which comes across here. It's going to measure 40 across the top and 29 down the side. So we're going to measure and mark very accurately 49. Okay, and sorry, 40, my mistake. That's why you double check your measurements. 40 and 29 down the side. Okay, now with those 2 points, I'm just going to line them up and do hidden detail. Now hidden detail is actually a lot lighter than my outline. So it's sort of half the weight of my outline line. Okay, so there we go, hidden detail. Just to clean up any little stray marks there. Okay, just to keep the drawing as neat as possible. Cleaning up. Okay, So at this stage, I've got my front view. Now I'm going to translate all of these measurements onto my top view. So using t-square and set square together, I'm going to mark out the width of the top view. So it's going to be exactly as wide. I'll look at that top view. Now there's going to be a gap in the top view, but it's filled in down here, so we could probably say that's going to be firmed in. Okay, now as far as how wide it is, it's going to be just as wide as the bottom view, so firm that in. Firm in the outside edges, making sure you've got the right points. If I went out here, it would look a bit messy. It would be harder to tell where the object began and finished. So, okay, I've boxed it in. Now in this case, I've boxed it in with firm outlines because I know for a fact that that is going to be visible on the top view. I can see that there. Okay, now we've got a few little details that we still need to put onto the top view, such as this cutout in the middle. So we've got some measurements that we need to translate onto the side here. So we've got 20, 13, 20. So let's measure and mark that out. Okay, might do it on this end, because that's the end we need it on. So 20, mark, 13, might do 20 out from the other side, 20, and then just double check the distance in the middle, it's 13. Looks more like 11 to me, so double check that, which is interesting. 20, 13 would be more here. And then 20, okay, I'm just going to do 20 in from each edge, and the middle can be smaller. Then you can see that there's actually some extra gaps going on at the, so the dotted lines themselves might actually be smaller than, there might have been some shrinking going on when I, reproduced this picture. So that width there is not exactly the 53 that it's meant to be. If I measure that out, that's actually 51. So I'm going to have to just go with it. So that 2 is absorbed in the middle there. So, yep. All right. I'm going to do some very light construction lines into the middle. These are going to be easy to rub out. Now, the width into the middle is 40. Okay, I'm going to keep that the same, even though I've got some shrinkage elsewhere. Okay, using the wrong set square there. Okay, going back to my 45-degree set square. Now, this one's not long enough, so I'm just going to extend that very lightly to where I think it goes. Okay, and then finish that up. Okay. Alright, now I need to firm those in before I move on. I'm happy that that's the object that I need to give outlines to. There are no hidden details on that face, on that top view. Now, in translating all of these things to your end view, okay, we're going to actually take these points across to this 45-degree angle here, and we're going to drop it straight down. Okay, just as this one is. As long as that's 45-degree angle, that's what we're working on, and you can see there it is. Okay, so that 45-degree angle out from your front view, you can see that if I take these straight across and drop that straight down, I will have that same width on my end view. also going to have the same height coming across from my front view. So same height, okay, comes across from here. Running the full height and firming in my outlines. Okay, we've still got a little bit of detail that we can translate across. Again, we'll use the same method because makes life a little bit easier. It will actually sort of reduce that element of, if we have a problem here, which I did, it will at least reflect the same shape down here and no one gets confused. So that comes down, straight down, and I can just pull that shape down into there. And you can see that's going to end around about there where that comes down to. Okay, so same with this edge, pull it down into there. Stops at that point, take that point across. Always make sure your T-square is butted up against the edge of your drawing board. If it starts getting wonky, that's when your lines can start looking a bit strange. Okay, just to finish up this drawing, making sure the corners join. And there it is, you're finished. So you've got your top view, you've got your front view, and you've got your end view. Well done.